Here's the thing, folks. This is a part of the reason why we even started this whole brand in the first place. There's a reason it's called ENDtv, even though it's an acronym for Every New Day, because every new day there is an end, etc. But the truth of the matter is that we represent those people who are frustrated and fed up, because guess what? We've just been spoon-fed lies and fraud for decades, and
from the mainstream media.
This is even from the times
politics, like all this bullshit.
This goes even back to the times of your parents and your grandparents, okay? They lied to you about World War II. They lied to you about Vietnam. They lied to you about the Cold War. They lied to you about everything. Because the whole purpose of all of this, and that's the reason, is that they don't want the masses of people. They don't want society to think for themselves. They don't want people to decide for themselves. They want to control you. And it doesn't matter if you're in the West, in the democracy West, or if you're in the East, which is more, which they, our side claim is more authoritarian or more, monocultural or whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody, they don't care. Like George Carlin said, there's a big club and you ain't in it. There you go. And nothing ever changes. Nothing will change. Because as you see, we still get wars, we still get conflict, we still get the filibustering,
the inflation, don't get enough healthcare, unemployment, like nothing is being done. Like you would
vulnerable aren't being taken care of. Yeah.
You would think like the most basic things would be like sorted, where like 8 billion people on the planet, like come on, solve housing, solve heating, solve food, solve malaria, for God's sake. There's a cure out there. Make a cheap fucking like vaccine or something. Like, are you serious? Like, we're talking like millions of people are dying every year from malaria. I'm not hearing fucking mosquitoes because it's summer. And like, it's driving me nuts, but like people are dying out there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, we're not talking about these things.
No, we're not, because they don't care. And by they, I mean the people that we elect supposedly as our leaders. They don't care. They don't care because they don't know you. And they don't live in the same, they're not breathing the same air you are. They're not even
like on a different plane of existence.
And we're in a cult-like mentality, because everybody is just following the leader, like the playground game. Yeah. And nobody's really like checking themselves and realizing that, we're just basically lemmings, following the path towards the cliff edge to jump off. So nothing ever changes because of that. And, that's why I've grown weary, as Edge has. Most of us, that's what we represent, the weary, the people who are fed up, because there is no justice ultimately. And sometimes there will be these short little bursts of justice, but it doesn't really mean much, because in the greater scheme of things, unfortunately, there's these bigger things, right? For these bigger scandals, and they're never exposed. And we never learn about it. And they try to keep all this other stuff hidden away from us. They don't want to tell us anything. Every year people keep thinking, oh, they're going to release, we're finally going to find out who assassinated JFK, or we're finally going to find out about the UFOs and the UAPs, or we're finally going to find out about the client list of the Epstein. And finally everyone's going to get their, comeuppance, right? No, it won't happen.
About the West, you're talking about the developed world. What about other countries where there's like complete media blackout?
Oh yeah.
And you think, some countries have like billions of people, and there's like no news coming out of these countries.
Yeah.
Like, okay, occasionally maybe like a war starting here and there, like with another country, but within that country, you don't really hear anything. And I always question myself, what do they hear? Do they hear stuff about us?
No, they're also like,
who knows what they hear?
They're funneled, they're a narrative-driven pieces as well. Like they're also just like, they're informed like how we're the bad guys. And we're told they're the bad guys. And at the end of the day, the citizens are not the bad guys. It's the people on top who are the bad guys. That's the reality. Because the people on top ultimately are the ones who govern everything. They're meeting behind closed doors. They're going to the Bilderberg meetings. They're doing all this stuff. And this is not conspiracy. This is just plain old fact.
This is fact.
You learn this in history, for Christ's sake. You learn about the nobility classes. Well, guess what? It still exists today. The nobility class it's just changed. Okay, they're not wearing pompadour wigs and having beauty marks and white face, powdered white faces and doing things like this. But they still exist. The nobility class just changed. It just shifted. Still existing in this type of environment, and nothing ever shifts.
This is ENDtv.